Tonight is Yom HaShoah. Both my parents lost family in the Holocaust. They were Holocaust survivors. My father lost everyone, save for one first cousin. He survived because he was drafted into Stalin's Polish Red Army after the Germans invaded the Soviet Union. He didn't have an inkling as to what happened to his family until 1944. That's when the Soviets had broken the back of the German army and were rapidly advancing. My father's troop had advanced into western Belarus, just a couple hundred kilometers north of my father's hometown. And what he noticed as he went through these towns was there were no Jews in them, and he knew they should be there. He would talk about it with his best friend in that troop, an Armenian Pole. In one town, he asked a nun, "Where are the Jews?" And she simply said, "All gone." He soon figured out that all gone meant that they had been killed. My father was not well educated, but he had a keen mind. And as they marched, he started thinking about how many Jews had been killed. All these small cities they were advancing through, he knew should have thousands, maybe even tens of thousands of Jews in them. Just like his hometown to the south had 20,000 Jews in it. He started adding up the numbers and realized hundreds of thousands of Jews must have been murdered in western Belarus. And if they were murdered in Belarus, they must have been murdered in his hometown as well. But he really couldn't quite fathom how. But then they marched into what was still Poland and liberated Majdanek concentration camp. The stench from the rotting bodies was so powerful that soldiers started to throw up 100 meters outside the camp. My father pressed on, started to wander around the piles of rotting bodies, and then he understood this was how it was done. He started to sob uncontrollably because he realized, oh, this is my family, or they're like this somewhere else. And as he was wailing out loud, he felt an arm on him, starting to hug him. It was his best friend, the Armenian Pole. And the Armenian Pole hugged my father and said, "First they killed us, now they've killed you." Tonight we honor the 6 million murdered, including my family, murdered here.